How would you like to live in paradise, invest in real estate, and be financially free? Well, we've got a young man here that is 3 for 3. We are going to hear his story, but more importantly, talk about why you can live in paradise, invest in real estate, and be financially free. Sleeves, man, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Not
Doing good.
much, man. You are. So let's tell everybody where you happen to be sitting on this wonderful planet of ours. Where are you dialing in from, if you will?
I'm logging in from Bali, Indonesia.
Bali, Indonesia. That I've been
Yeah.
there. I've been to Bali one time.
Oh,
Pretty spectacular place. Um, it is a place that a lot of expats, if you will, a
yeah.
lot of content creators want to go because it's paradise. So how long have you been in Bali?
So, wow. So it's coming up on like 7 months now. Kind
Nice.
of crazy to think about that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's break it down. You obviously didn't start this real estate journey while you were in Bali. You set up systems, processes. What were you doing ahead of time that allowed you to have the freedom bounce to Bali 7 months ago?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was in the army for 16 years. Got out, and we started buying rentals before getting out. Kind of went down that financial, personal education kind of stuff, the Dave Ramsey stuff.
Mhm.
And kind of got all my personal finances set up and bought some rentals, and now I'm living life in Bali. Yeah, it's kind of
Well,
crazy.
no, it's let's really break that down. So, because I want people to realize it's possible, right? If you've been with me for any length
Yeah,
of time, I try to get people to see it's possible. I tell them it's hard in the beginning, you make mistakes, but
yeah.
damn, it's worth it. I got to tell you, having financial freedom and living in Bali is just a big old gold star for you, man. Saying it's possible. But let's go back to 16 years ago. Where are you? Where are you in life at that point?
Yeah, so I grew up and graduated high school out of Mobile, Alabama. Grew up in a trailer park. It's kind of cool. We'll talk about some nostalgia when it comes to that stuff, I'm sure, at some point. But came up, not college wasn't on the radar, none of that stuff. So I was hanging drywall, laying floors, and at one point I had to like decide if I wanted beer or bread, kind of thing. So
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 you
ended
chose
up joining
beer.
the mill. Yeah, well, yeah, I was definitely not thirsty whenever I had to make that choice at that age, for sure. But yeah, I ended up joining the military. Loved it. Deployed, did all the cool stuff. And then got into real estate. Well, I bought my first rental in May of 2019. So I
Nice.
was still in the military. But yeah, that's about when it started, and bought a couple rentals, and now we're up to where we at now. We just closed on three, so we're at 45 units now.
Nice.
Um, so I got out about 3 years ago, and
Okay.
then kind of got everything set up. Got some systems, like you said, got all that stuff set up to the point to where I was able to, cut, sling, load, and move to paradise. Right.
There you go. There
So,
you go. Well, I always like to talk about that first deal. So 2019, uh,
ah,
did you buy it in your backyard? Was it a house hack? What was that first deal? Because I often find getting that first deal is such a great mental shift for folks. Because once you get one,
mm.
you can get two. So let's talk about that first one.
Yeah, the very first rental, yeah, we never forget it, right? 211 Lynn Ave.
Yep.
And it ended up selling it a little while ago. It's kind of sad, but yeah, that was like your standard. I think I bought it for like 50K or something like that. Like our market is really good. Fayetteville, North Carolina is really good for cash flow. Owning the Burr strategy is alive and well still
Oh
in
wow.
Fayetteville. I buy those deals all the time still. But yeah, but I didn't know about all that stuff as as well as I do now. So I just ended up putting 20K down, or 20% down, and then just cash flow for a few years, and then it appreciated, and then I learned a bit about was it return on equity. So it kind of doubled in value. So I was like, well, I think it's time. So I
There you go.
sold it and bought something else. Yeah, my
There you
first
go.
one.
Now I'm curious, when you sold it, did you just sell it, pay the taxes, or did you actually do a 1031 exchange, or what was that all about?
No, yeah, I just sold it. I didn't want to be put under the pressure of like trying to find a deal
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And I think I needed a couple bucks anyway, so I just paid the tax.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's as long as you go into it with eyes wide open. I've paid the tax plenty of times. I mean, like you,
Yeah.
I remember 2019, we sold two apartment buildings. We 1031 one of them into a portfolio of properties, and the other one we just paid the taxes on. We're like,
Mm,
we're not going to get caught by the the time frame. We're not going to go from a great to a bad deal. So I
yeah.
completely get that. So you go from that one unit in 2019. You're currently sitting at 45. It's a pretty
Yeah.
rapid increase. What were some of these like multi-units, or what how do you go from
Mm.
1 to 45 in 5 years?
Yeah, we have a little mix. I have a fourplex, triplex. It started jumping up when I started buying mobile home parks. That's
Ah,
kind of
there we go.
the nostalgia, right? So like it's
Yeah.
actually a dream of mine to own the mobile home park that I grew up
Oh,
in
that would be
Alabama.
cool. That'd be
I
cool.
know, dude. But yeah, so we're buying little small mobile home parks right now. The little stuff that the big guys don't want to mess with, but I'll take on all day. The last one we closed on was 14 lot, 13 homes. We're currently in the process of getting that one fixed up and rented out. But yeah, we got that one seller finance. Uh, that one's a great example of just doing the hard work like you talk about all the time, brother. Like
Yeah.
I a lot of people need to take that stuff to heart because
Yeah.
I got a really good deal on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's break
So
it down. I would love to, because again, I got to encourage people. It's hard out there. I actually want people to hear this. The last 2 years have been the hardest years of my investing career to find deals. It was tough. Lots of cash, lots of people chasing easy money. But dude, the next 2 years, all that fake entrepreneurs, all those wannabe investors, they're going to go bye bye, and we're just going to clean up because there's still
yeah.
motivated sellers. There's still people that have to sell. And we're going to be there with our toolbox, cash, seller financing, both. And we're the true operators that do the work are going to clean up. So let's celebrate your seller financing deal. How'd you find it? How many follow-ups? What's the story?
So this one, the people that I bought it from, my buddy was actually the commercial agent that sold it to him, which is kind of weird. So they bought it from some guy that had it for a long time. They ended up getting into it, but they bought it from out of state. They didn't live in town, and this was
Oh,
not. That's the thing with mobile home parks, especially these
woo.
little ones. You cannot. You got to be there. You got to be there.
Yeah, yeah,
We're dealing with some crazy stuff right now because I'm in Bali.
yeah.
I should be
I would,
there.
I would think so. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what are you talking about being there? You're in Bali. That's like not Fayetteville, North Carolina. What are you talking about?
But no, like the initial push to get it going, we got like six
Yeah,
more units that got to get turned,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll be good to go. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt. It needed like a new sewer and all that stuff, but absolutely worth it. I got it set up to where it only had three tenants in it. That's how bad this thing was.
Oh,
It
it
only had
went
three
from
tenants.
bad to worse. Yeah, they had to get out.
Yeah, yeah. So they were hurting pretty bad, and I had it set up the financing set up to where I could just hold it just as it sat, and I wouldn't have to come out of pocket anything. So I got a lot of runway. There's a lot of room
Right.
for error. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Because I think that opportunity. I'm going to break down what I hear you saying, and I want other people to hear this. Over the last couple of years, real estate got sexy. Specifically, commercial real estate got sexy. Right? Bigger is better. Grant Cardone screaming from the hills. You had all these, non-banks doing lend bridge debt. DSCR, all of these things,
mm,
and people got stupid. They thought they could buy a 14 unit trailer park from out of state because the spreadsheet told me I could. They were not operators. Clearly, they were financial engineers. They got their ass handed to them.
yeah,
They had to get out. Clearly, a don't wanter. Then a good operator, such as yourself, comes in, structures the deal so you can nearly not lose. You could take on the big projects like a new sewer system, and you could take your time 9, 12 months, turning this
Yep.
likely eyesore into a cash cow.
Yes.
That's what's coming.
Yep. And a big part of that, the reason why I got this is because I did the work. It went under contract with like 3 or 4 other buyers prior to me getting
I
it.
love that.
And they kept backing out, and I kept hitting up the listing agent, the new listing agent, which was also a buddy of mine. And I it ended up getting to a point where I told the agent, I was like, hey, step to the side, let me get in communication with the seller, and let's work this deal out. I'll pay you the commission myself. Let's get this deal done.
Right.
So you can do that sometimes with these agents if the agent is willing to play ball, especially on what I'm realizing, especially on the commercial side. You can kind of there's a bit more flexibility. The
Yeah,
residential, not so much, right?
correct.
So, but yeah, I injected myself in that conversation. I was, I wasn't going to fail,
Yeah.
and it helps because I got a pretty good reputation in town. We're one of the more well-known wholesalers in town, so
Mhm.
we got deals all the time and stuff. So like, if people's investing in our market, they're probably on our buyers list. So
Right.
like
They
everybody that
know
was
you.
involved in the deal, they knew that I was going to close, right?
Yeah.
So there was some confidence there that helped out.
Yeah, especially after being brought to the altar 3 times and having having the buyer disappear or, cancel. It's got to be frustrating, right?
Yeah, that's a little tough. And I was telling you on the call the other day about this. I walked away from the closing table with 2K. Isn't that yeah? So I actually did feel bad about that. It
I
was a
no
little
money
bit
down.
unexpected.
I left with 2 grand and a 14-unit trailer park. How the hell did that happen? Well, I structured a
Uh,
win-win deal.
yeah, that was a little actually unexpected. That was the deposits that came
Right.
through that we didn't like allocate, until you can see it on the closing docs, right?
Yeah, the
So
HUD. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right,
Well, very, very
yeah.
cool. Well, one thing I think is the 45 units, is this all in Fayetteville, North Carolina or thereabouts?
Yeah, no, all of them are in Cumberland County. Yeah, Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's a really solid market because it's right outside the largest military installation in the world for
Oh,
for Liberty now. Used to be Fort Bragg,
okay.
right? So you have a ton of soldiers there. So it's a you some people call it like a subsidized market, right? Like it
Yeah.
it can't you can't fail there, right? And I know soldiers get raises, right? They get paychecks and they spend their money, so they're
Mm.
constantly injecting
Yeah.
revenue into the community, right? So
Yeah.
when
The
you have
local
like
economy. Yeah.
the biggest base in the world, that's so like 2008 when you look at the chart, it was like this, like
Yeah.
it's a
Makes sense.
solid market. You can't fail. It's hard to
I
fail.
like it. I like it. Well, you've done something that I've never done, which in real estate is funny for me to say, but you actually play with mobile home parks. So tell me why you like mobile home parks. Define a mobile home park, just in case somebody listening doesn't really know what it is. Like this 14 units. Did you just buy the land? Did you buy the land and the trailers? What did you end up buying in that deal?
Yeah, so I bought the land, and that's really where the value is at, is the dirt, right? And then I bought all the mobile homes, which is considered personal property.
Hmm.
So I'm the big dogs. They usually run it where they're called tenant owned homes. So
Okay.
all the tenants own those trailers, and they just collect lot rent, right?
Okay. Yep.
So when you're scaling, you're buying in multiple states all throughout the country. That's a really good way. That's what Brandon Turner does. Bigger pockets. He's
Right.
he's that guy. But the little guys like us, if you have good management in place, you can just run it like a horizontal apartment complex
Yeah.
and just own
Makes
the
sense.
trailers and rent it out, right?
Okay.
So that's what I've done. Maybe someday at some point I'll sell the trailer. That's actually a cool thing about the asset class is if you ever need some cash, you can just sell the trailers real quick, 10,
Yeah.
20, 30K a pop, right? And
Yeah.
just collect lot rent if you need a quick bump real quick.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. But I'm liking the smaller ones. We currently have a 7 lot mobile home park under contract. I just got off the phone right before I talked with you. Oh my God, Mike, this might be the best deal ever. Like,
I like it. Tell me.
yeah,
Tell us.
yeah, yeah, yes. So it's like it's a 19 pad mobile home park. It's exactly in my bio. This is exactly what I want. And this one's real cool because the seller is telling me he doesn't want all the money. He wants
Ah,
to, he will only sell owner finance because he doesn't want that capital gains hitting him
he
all at
don't
one
want to pay the
time.
tax man. He hates the IRS. I like
Yeah, yes, I was like, oh, we're gonna be friends. His name is Luther. We're friends
it.
now.
Yeah, you got anything else you want to sell? I'll take them all.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm liking the small parts. But I'll still buy, like, I just closed on three manufactured homes on land as well,
right.
more like a house kind of setup.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so but at some point I'm realizing that, like, for per transaction, you're often looking for more cash flow. Like, so
Yeah.
you're the onesies and twosies are kind of once you get up to a certain point,
Mhm.
that $600 per month, $400 per month cash flow
Mhm.
is a little less exciting. So you start looking for other stuff, right?
Right.
So I
Right.
guess kind of your story too, right? You started buying the apartments, right?
Yep.
So, but you got to start with one rental at a time. I tell my guys that all the time, man. Just one at a time.
One at a
Calm
time.
down. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Calm down. I like it. Calm down. Oh man. So I want to talk about this living in Bali thing. So was it
yeah.
always a dream? When did you get the first spark to even think that you could, have a portfolio in North Carolina and live in Bali? When did that spark happen?
Oh, so actually, I think I lied to you, brother, and I apologize for that. My
All
first
right.
investment property was actually a rice field in Indonesia.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
that we still own. Yeah, we still own it. So,
What? Wait a
so
second. You bought a
yeah,
rice
yeah, yeah.
field?
I own a rice field in Indonesia. It's on the island of Java, and
Okay.
I my wife is Indonesian,
Ah, okay, okay.
so
Got it.
so now it's
That
all come
helped.
together, right? Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
now
So
I get it.
yeah, so but back in the day, I cashed out my retirement accounts because
Okay.
that's all. I don't believe in it. We can
Okay.
talk
All
about
right.
some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I like having control of my money,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
I ended up pulling it all out, paying the penalty, paying the tax, and I bought a rice field. Like, yeah, kind of crazy, but
Yeah, kind of.
uh, yeah, we still
That's
got it.
again,
We're actually
dude. Sleeves, you've done some crazy stuff. I've never even heard of anybody buying a rice field.
so it's more of an appreciation play. Where I my it's in the same little village where my wife grew up, right out like right down the street from my mother in law's house. So she runs it. She like how does that work actually? Oh, so like she gets somebody to farm it, and then basically they split the profits, and you
Sure.
get like three harvests per year. So she's putting like 300 or 400 bucks in a year in her pocket per year, or three times a year, something like that. I don't even care.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not.
That's
I'm not.
that's fan
You know.
that's family stuff. Yeah, that's family stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's for them, and it goes pretty far for them. But yeah, it actually wasn't like a dream to come and live here. It was always something that the wife and I talked about.
Okay.
But it kind of got to a point where, I kind of sit up from like looking at the computer, looking around, and realize, like, oh, I all the sacrifice for the last 5 years is worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah.
those late nights, those early mornings, I used to drive for dollars all weekend with my wife and kid in the car. When I was working, I was well, still in the military. I was doing stuff in the morning, at lunch, in the evenings, all that stuff. And I look up and realize I got the cash flow. I have zero personal debt, nothing, nothing like not, I own this. This is on cash. This villa here, kind of cool. Check that
Yeah.
out. We got a
Kind of
pool and all
cool.
that, right?
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
But yeah, I just looked up one day, brother, and I was like, "Hey, wife, you want to go? Let's just go." And she's like,
Let's go.
"Really?" And she was all about it. So yeah, we're doing
Oh.
it.
So this is not just let's punch out for a year and we'll be back. This is Sleeves and wife. We're gonna live in Bali for a while, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, and then we'll be back to like we'll probably be back in Fayetteville in the next month or so, just to go check on stuff
Yeah.
and
But you
and
live in Bali, you visit Fayetteville.
yes, that is true. That is what it is. Yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Wife and I are gonna have to come back to Bali and check it out. So let's talk
Yeah.
about the system and processes. Okay, so you're in Fayetteville. You give the wife, the heads up. You're thinking about it. She says green light. Let's go. You probably have to set up some procedures. You have to have a team, some trusted boots on the ground. Let's talk about how you protected yourself before you jumped on that airplane.
Yeah, sure. The team that I have is remarkable. It's veterans and spouses, or veterans that are also military spouses.
Mm.
So like a lot of folks on the team are stay at home stay at home moms that
Yep.
they just want to take they got little kids, they want to take care of them babies, and which I appreciate 100%, but they still want to add value and create wealth. I encourage them to buy rentals. I'm about to set up one girl, my executive assistant slash operations manager. She's going to get hooked up here pretty soon.
Nice.
But yeah, the team, it's all about the team, right? So we have a uh the operations manager. She's, oh my god, she's so important to me right now. uh then we have our disposition manager, good buddy of mine. I trust wholeheartedly. He's the guy that's selling all the deals that we get under contract. He's walking my deals for me that I'm going to buy. Our acquisition specialist is a beast, Megan Sloan. Oh my god, she's a monster. When she was in the military, she was drill sergeant for those military folk. They know Audie Murphy, Morales, multiple bachelor's degrees. She was probably the best non-commissioned officer that I ever worked with, and somehow I got lucky enough for her to be on my team.
Wow.
Crazy. We got Cassandra. She's our follow-up specialist, which is super important.
Yeah.
Super important. She's like, I was actually looking at her, the return on investment. Like, she's so worth it. So if you guys are looking to do any self or direct to seller marketing, follow-up specialist, absolutely
Mm.
worth it.
Yeah.
And then we have a transaction coordinator. So like, yeah, the team is rocking and rolling. And then the property management, another veteran buddy that retired out of the same unit that I did, that I trust 100%. That there's no excuse other than just super blessed, like
Mm.
straight up. There's no other excuse.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You took a long time building that. You're obviously a go-giver. You invest in them. You're hooking them up
Oh
when the
yeah.
time is right. Um, and that, and again, what's really cool so far, we've just talked about you owning 45 units. We've kind of touched on the outside, but you run a transaction business, right? So you not only have
Oh yeah.
cash flow, but you also have chunks of money that are coming in.
Mm.
So, what's the name of the company?
Short sleeves real estate.
Short sleeves real estate.
So
All things wholesale, flip, buy and hold. What's the specialty?
we mainly a funny thing. I've never flipped a deal. I've never flipped a house,
Oh, there we go. Okay.
which is crazy. I tell my friends that, and it's really weird. We pretty much assign everything, and
Okay.
if I rehab it, I keep it.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're either taking the quick money, or you're adding it to your portfolio.
Yep. And the reason why, Mike, I do that, and this is what I talk to people about all the time, is find your niche within the
Yeah,
industry that you like. You kind of get the vibe from me. I'm kind of a sales and marketing guy. Like I
sure.
like to. I'm a deal guy, right? 100%.
Mm.
The construction freaks me out. I I don't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. No, you're
So
a smart man. Yeah, if you're going to do the value add, you're going to keep it. I think that makes perfect sense. You'll burr it or something like that. I think that's pretty
yep.
wise. Take the chunk money, feed the machine when appropriate. Cherry pick the great ones and keep them.
Yes, absolutely. And some of
Yeah.
my friends, they make fun of me because I missed out on the 60K flip or whatever, but I'm like, well, I can sleep at night. So that's, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Hey,
Right.
bitch, look,
So
Bali in the background. I'm okay.
there's something that I guess I've coined it. I don't know. I'll claim it. I'll claim it. So I call it return on brain damage,
Oh, I love that.
right?
Return on
Return on
brain
brain damage.
damage. Yeah.
So like often like some of my more analytical buddies, they look into the spreadsheets and they're like, you should do this because of this because it accounts for this, da, da, and they start rattling off some stuff. I'm like, well, that sounds hard. so
Sounds like brain
so
damage.
they like, yeah, I'm like, so I mean, how much effort? I think I've heard you say something about like return on effort or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
the wise guys say that stuff, man, and I've listened over time. So that, yeah, I stay in my lane, man.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And that also gives you peace of mind. It allows you to. It's just
Yeah,
funny. I've seen people have remarkable, especially the last 4 years. There have been people that came into the game, they struck gold. They had it was they didn't know it, but it was easy at that time. And then their egos blew up. They created big teams with all this
yeah,
other stuff, and they watched their overhead go from, I don't know, 3 grand to 70 grand a month. You have
mm,
one dry month, brother. Woo, it's not good.
yep, yeah. We've done pretty well. I saw you spoke at Flip Hacking Live. I didn't get to go to it. I think I was here. That's probably why I didn't go. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's okay. You win. You win.
but no, I was part of Bill Allen's mastermind there for a bit. So one of the guys I respect in there was like, "Hey, we're all winning here, guys. We're all crushing it. People are out here spending money. So wholesalers are doing really well, but be careful. Don't build this thing out like
Yeah,
it's going to last forever. You got to be
it ain't gonna.
careful."
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So let's talk about the future. It sounds like you're going to again continue to live in Bali. Jealous. Visit Fayetteville. Cool. Where do you go from here? And where's Sleeves go from here?
Oh man. So the plan is to get to a point where I have a little bit more cash flow net that I can put in my pocket. So I'm still building the portfolio.
Mm,
But when I get to a certain point, get everything stabilized and kind of like sit back and take a break. We're looking at buying stuff here. We the appreciation here is insane, as you can imagine. It's like
mhm.
the second most traveled
Yeah,
vacation spot in the world or something like that, right?
yeah,
So vacation rentals, short term rentals are crazy here. But
right.
there's something that me and the wife are actually looking at doing here in the next. I don't, I'm not going to put a date on it. Soon, we're starting to have conversations, but we want to own one of those boats, like
Mm,
a boat that sails all around the island
mhm.
for like 3 or 4 days, right?
Right. Yeah,
So that we can bring our friends on there. So it's out there just
yeah,
generating revenue, right? In the
sure.
meantime, and then whenever we want to jump on, we just block it off, take our family,
Yeah.
and go travel around the islands. That's kind of the that's like that's a goal that we're shooting for in the next couple of years. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from you is life doesn't suck. That's what I'm hearing.
You got to do the work, brother. Do the work, bro.
Yeah, come on.
I tell the guys, if you really hustle and you find the right market, bro, and you put your head down for 5 years, you don't have to do it like me. I put my head down. I was obsessed for like, and I was hustling hard, right? Not necessary, but it is possible. 4 to 5 years, you can be financially free.
I
Absolutely
agree.
possible, right?
100% agree. 100% agree. People,
Or
it takes work.
it takes, or just buy. And you talk about it. Just buy. I even made the post. Buy one a year, one every 2 years, and
Yeah.
just and you're gonna look up one day and you're gonna be in a really good spot because you did
Yeah.
some work. You decided to not sit down and watch damn Dancing with the Stars or
Yeah.
whatever. You decided to analyze some properties and make some offers, right?
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Well, Sleeves, you're amazing, man. I love this story. We'll have to catch up again. There's so much here I want to talk about. If somebody wanted to follow you or reach out, where do we send them?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm Bob Sleeves on there. If you guys are looking for a good market for buy and hold, you can go to shorts or sleevedeals.com that and get added to our buyer list. I'll hook you up with everybody that you need, contractors, property management, all that stuff. We got all that stuff lined up, and we got really good deals getting pushed out weekly.
Yeah, one more time. It's Sleeve Deals with an S.
Sleeves, like multiple sleeves,
Yep.
deals.com.
Got it. Very cool, folks. Sleevesdeals.com. Reach out. Also, if you're in the school community, he is as well. Send him a note. Let him know he did a
Yep.
great job. I love this story, man. Take care of yourself. Have a great evening because it's like
Yep.
11:30 for you. Later.